It often starts so quietly that you almost don't notice. A name that slips away, a forgotten appointment, or keys left somewhere strange. You laugh it off and say, "I'm just tired." But sometimes, these small lapses are the first whispers of something deeper. Today, we'll explore 10 early signs of Alzheimer's disease, subtle clues that often go unnoticed until it's too late. These aren't just memory lapses. They're patterns, small changes in thinking, behavior, and judgment that, when combined, reveal the earliest stages of cognitive decline. This isn't about fear. It's about awareness. Because catching these signs early can give you or someone you love the chance to slow down progression and protect brain health. Let's begin. Alzheimer's disease doesn't begin when someone starts forgetting names or faces. It begins years before, deep inside the brain. Long before symptoms appear, harmful proteins called amyloid plaques and tau tangles start to form. They disrupt communication between brain cells, silently damaging memory networks. This phase can last for 10 years or more before clear symptoms appear. That's why recognizing the subtle early signs is so important. The earlier we act, the better we can protect neurons through medical care, nutrition, and daily lifestyle choices. As you listen, think about yourself or someone close to you. Have you noticed any of these signs? 1. Memory loss that disrupts daily life. We all forget things from time to time. The difference is how often and what kind. Normal aging means forgetting a name and remembering it later. But with Alzheimer's, a person forgets important dates, events, or conversations, and often repeats questions because the memory never formed in the first place. Someone might forget that their grandchild visited yesterday, or ask again when a birthday is, even after being reminded. These are not simple slips. They signal that the brain's short-term memory system is breaking down. Watch for repeated questions, forgetting recent events entirely, or relying heavily on notes and reminders to get through the day. 2. Difficulty planning or solving problems. In early Alzheimer's, logical thinking and organization start to fade. Someone who once managed bills with ease may now struggle with simple finances or forget to pay them altogether. A cook who could follow a recipe perfectly may now skip ingredients or leave the stove on. These are signs that the brain's executive functions, planning, sequencing, and problem-solving, are weakening. Tasks that once felt automatic now require intense effort and often lead to frustration. If you notice someone taking much longer to complete simple chores or getting overwhelmed by multi-step tasks, it may be time to look closer. 3. Trouble completing familiar tasks. This is one of the most overlooked early signs. People may get lost driving to a familiar location, forget how to use a favorite appliance, or become confused using their phone or computer. These are not random mistakes. They show the gradual erosion of procedural memory, the brain's ability to handle familiar routines. Families often dismiss this as stress or aging, but when daily habits start breaking down, it's a red flag. Notice if a person struggles with once simple household tasks or avoids using tools or technology they previously enjoyed. 4. Confusion with time or place. Alzheimer's can disrupt the brain's sense of time. Someone might forget what day or month it is, or think they're living in another year. They may wake up at night and believe it's morning, or prepare to go to work years after retirement. Some people get lost in familiar neighborhoods or can't recall how they arrived somewhere. These experiences can be deeply unsettling, both for them and their loved ones. When a person begins to lose track of dates, seasons, or surroundings, it's a clear sign that spatial and temporal orientation in the brain is affected. 5. Difficulty understanding visual information and spatial relationships. This sign is surprising to many. Alzheimer's doesn't just affect memory, it changes how the brain processes what we see. Someone might misjudge distances, have trouble reading, or struggle to recognize familiar faces. You may notice small accidents, spilling drinks, missing the cup while pouring, or bumping into furniture. These are not eye problems. The eyes are fine. The issue lies in the brain's ability to interpret visual input. It's common for people to confuse reflections, misread signs, or find it difficult to navigate stairs or parking lots. When vision becomes confusing or distorted, it can be an early clue that the visual processing regions of the brain are changing. 6. problems with speaking or writing. In the early stages of Alzheimer's, words begin to hide. A person may pause mid-sentence, searching for simple words like book or chair. They might replace them with vague phrases such as that thing or you know what I mean. They may also repeat themselves or struggle to follow conversations. Writing can become disorganized or incomplete, sentences trail off, or letters become smaller and uneven. These difficulties occur because language centers in the brain are affected. If you notice someone who once spoke fluently now struggling to express themselves clearly, it's time to pay attention. 7. Misplacing things and losing the ability to retrace steps. We all misplace our keys or phones. But a person with Alzheimer's often puts items in strange places, the remote in the refrigerator, a wallet in a drawer, or glasses in the sugar jar. The key difference is that they can't retrace their steps to find the item. They may even become suspicious, believing others are stealing from them. This confusion and frustration often increase as the disease progresses. When misplaced items become frequent and impossible to explain, it's a telltale sign that the brain's spatial and memory mapping systems are breaking down. 8. Poor judgment or decision-making. Early Alzheimer's often affects the part of the brain responsible for reasoning and judgment. This can lead to strange or risky choices, giving large sums of money to telemarketers, neglecting hygiene, or wearing winter clothes in summer. Loved ones might notice impulsive or uncharacteristic behavior, as if the person's internal filter has disappeared. These changes aren't about carelessness. They reflect damage in the brain's frontal lobe, where decision-making and self-control live. If someone begins making choices that are out of character, it's worth exploring what's happening beneath the surface. 9. Withdrawal from work or social activities. This is one of the most emotional signs, and one that families often miss. A once social person begins withdrawing from friends, hobbies, or community life. They may stop reading, stop attending gatherings, or seem uninterested in conversations. Sometimes it's embarrassment. They're aware something is wrong but can't explain it. Other times, it's mental exhaustion. Keeping up with social cues becomes too demanding. What looks like depression or isolation might actually be the brain struggling to process information and maintain focus. If someone begins to fade quietly from their usual activities, this withdrawal may be an early warning. 10. Changes in mood and personality. Perhaps the most heartbreaking sign of all. Alzheimer's can slowly reshape someone's emotions and personality. They may become anxious, irritable, suspicious, or fearful. A gentle person may suddenly lash out or accuse others of lying. These changes occur because the disease affects the limbic system, the emotional control center of the brain. It's not intentional behavior. It's biology. If a loved one starts acting not like themselves, showing sudden mood swings or unexplained anger, don't dismiss it as stress. It could be one of the earliest emotional signs of Alzheimer's. Recognizing the pattern. No single symptom proves Alzheimer's. But when several appear together, memory loss, disorganization, confusion, and personality changes, it's time to seek professional evaluation. Early diagnosis matters. It allows treatment, support, and lifestyle changes that can significantly slow down cognitive decline. Modern medicine can't yet cure Alzheimer's, but early detection can extend quality of life and preserve independence for longer. Protecting your brain. There are ways to strengthen your brain's defenses. Eat foods rich in antioxidants, healthy fats, and omega-3s, like berries, olive oil, nuts, and fish. Exercise regularly to improve blood flow and oxygen to the brain. Keep learning new skills to build mental resilience. Sleep deeply, because during sleep, the brain clears toxins linked to Alzheimer's. And most importantly, stay socially connected. Relationships stimulate the brain and protect against decline. Small daily actions truly make a difference. Each healthy habit sends your brain one clear message: stay strong, stay sharp. Final thoughts. Alzheimer's doesn't begin with forgetting who people are. It begins with tiny moments, misplaced items, lost words, or quiet confusion. Moments that whisper before they shout. If this message resonates with you, take it as a call to awareness. Pay attention to the signs, and don't be afraid to speak to a doctor. Knowledge isn't fear. It's power. Protect your memories. Protect your mind. And remember, early awareness can change the future.